Hello there, my name is Bowie. I use they, them pronouns. Welcome to another training session for any person who is new. I'm happy to have you join me. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun. For folks who have come to these sessions before, welcome back. It's really great to have you here. Before we begin, I do want to acknowledge that these videos are recorded on the stolen lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Sovereignty never was and never will be ceded, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I also want to acknowledge the lives of all Black people and the oppression that happens within the systems, not just in Australia, but also in America and around the world. The police brutality is not okay. The Black lives are lost in custody, in jail and on the streets, and Fearless Movement Collective stands against that, and we strongly believe that all people have a right to equal opportunities and an equal life and freedom. I want to acknowledge the support that we also get from Drummond Street Services and Queer Space to run these sessions and give the good stuff out to you so you can move from your own homes, feel safe and feel good about that, so you start to just connect with yourself and learn some new stuff that you maybe didn't know. So let us begin, friends. We are going to start with a warm-up. We always start from top to bottom. We're going to start at our necks here because this is an area that we often don't move very much. So we square our shoulders up, nice and relaxed here, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take our chin and we're going to point it up towards the roof, and then we're going to look down. And we're just going to look up and down for 10. It's 2, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, nice, doing well, and 7. Tucking your chin down to your collarbone every time. It's 8. I'm not letting our head drop forward. 9 and 10. Once we've done our 10, we're going to take our ears and we're going to bring them down to our shoulders. So tilting down to the right, we're going to go 10 in one direction and 10 in the other, alternating left and right. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10, that's halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Lastly, with our necks, we're going to look left and right. We're going to take our chin, we're going to line it up with our collarbone. 1. We're going to do 10 in each direction. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Amazing. Now that we've moved our necks a little bit, we're going to move on to our shoulders. So 2 options here. First one, you can keep a straight arm and you're going to turn it right back and around. Or if you're someone who has some niggly shoulders or you've had a dislocation or any issue with your shoulders, we're going to do a shrug and use your elbow to guide that circle and getting it to whatever height that you feel comfortable to get to. So if you're here in line with the shoulder and it's a little bit too much, just drop it down and you're just going to shrug, working that shoulder. We're going to do 10 backwards and then 10 forwards, and we're going to swap sides and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to demonstrate straight arm for you. Now let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost there, 8, 9, and 10. That's it. Now we're going to take it forward. Same thing again. 1, 2. We want control here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to swap sides. Exactly the same thing on the opposite side. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting that arm as high up as you can if you're doing straight arm. That's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. Moving on now, we're going to come down to our wrists. So we're going to go tucking our elbows to our sides just because it brings our hands up into a nice position. And we're going to start circling our palms towards ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to push our palms away from us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Amazing. Moving down to our hips. So we're going to bring our feet just wider than hip width here. Wherever you feel comfortable, really. Don't go narrower than hips. You can go hip width or wider. But you want to be able to have a lot of balance. So you don't want to, if you find your feet are too narrow, you might tip over a little bit. We don't want that. We're going to take our hands, we're going to give them a job. And that job is to hold sides of our hips here. Otherwise, they just kind of dangle about a little bit weirdly. It all gets a little bit awkward. So hands have a job, check. Feet are wider than hips, check. Next up, we're going to push our hips forwards and then we're going to bring them around the side. We're going to do nice big circles here, all the way around. It's 1. We're going to go to 10. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's it, 7, getting as far out the whole way around. 8, pushing it right out. 9, 1 more. 10, and we're going to go back the other way. You might find one side's a little bit different feeling the other. It's totally okay. It is what it is. That could be 2, 3, 4, 5. Doing well, friends. 6, making sure we're making our hips move and not our chest moving too much. 7, 8, 9, 1 more. And 10. Amazing. Moving down now to our knees. Feet come together or just a little bit apart. Again, we want to be balanced here. So wherever your feet need to be to balance, but you're not going to want them too wide because we're going to do some knee circles and it gets a bit weird when they're too wide. So going to bring our feet together or close to it. Hands are just going to rest on our knees. We're giving them another job. Hands are just gently resting on the knees, so we're definitely not leaning body weight here. We're going to bend our knees forward, and then we're going to circle around. 1, 2, we're going for 10 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and we're going to back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. Finishing up on our ankles, we're going to lift our foot up. Now, if you need something to balance with here, totally use that thing. It could be a chair or your couch, a broomstick, a wall, anything that you can just brace yourself against, because you want to move your foot freely, so you don't want to be more focused on not falling over. Plus, it's not fun. So if you found your stabilizing device, amazing. We're going to do this. Taking our foot, we're going to circle inwards for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we'll go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to swap sides and do exactly the same thing. So still using that support if needed. You might find one side balances easier than the other. That can happen. If you find that, interesting fact about you, you may not have known. And balancing on foot and the foot that is unstable is a great way of developing more stability on that side. Yes. So let's do our circles here. Circling inwards to start with. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. making our way down to the ground. Here we are, friends, the floor. From here, we're going to keep ourselves moving. Now, I'm going to give you two options here because we've got a fun little movement to do. Your first option is what is called a cobra pose. So you'll start down on your stomach, hands just under the fronts of your shoulders, and you're going to relax your tops of your feet against the floor and gently straighten your arms, just getting to wherever you can get to. So there's no need to try and push this one because we want to be nice and kind to our spines. And when we're not used to this movement, it can be a bit tough and a bit uncomfortable to start with. But what we're aiming for is to gently straighten ourselves up, getting to this nice straight arm position, but it is not essential. Remember, working with where you're at is what is important here. Now, our second option is to do what is called an up dog, down dog. So starting on hands and knees, lifting up onto our toes and pushing our hips back. From here, shifting forwards, bringing our hips to just hover above the floor and moving back and forth here. Now they are our two options. Either one you do, we will be doing 10. So cobra pose, pick that position, laying flat on the floor, hands under the shoulders, getting ready to go. If you're going to give up dog, down dog a try, which I recommend because it is a pretty fabulous movement, we're going to start on our hands and knees and we're going to work our way through this. Alrighty, friends, let's go. Pushing our hips back, pushing our heels down towards the floor, dropping our head forward, shifting our hips forward, looking up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 6, 7, almost there. 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Coming to our knees now, so if you were doing cobra pose, coming up onto your hands and knees, just sitting back onto your heels. We're going to take our hands now, rotate them outwards, and then plop them down on the floor in front of our knees. Keeping your fingers as close to your knees as what feels comfortable, and then sitting back onto your heels, just as far as you can, because if you're someone who hasn't done this movement before, you might not be able to get this far back. So just shift those, your butt up off your hips, off your heels a bit, to alleviate that stretch if you find it's too much. We're going to hold this for around 30 seconds. We've probably been holding it for about 15 already, so we'll go just a little bit longer. And then we will move on. Just focusing on breathing in this position. It can be really easy to forget to breathe. Bizarre, I know, but it happens. Yeah. One of those important things that we just forget about. Flipping it over now, we're going to bring the tops of our hands to the floor, fingertips facing the knees again. If you want to intensify that stretch, you bring your hands further away from your knees, but just working with whatever limits you are at there. And with this one, remember to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. It's really important. We don't want to kind of sink ourselves down or shrug our shoulders up. And this one I'm also going to hold for around 30 seconds. So we're going for a little bit already. I'm going to go for a little bit longer. Doing well. Just embrace the new sensations. That's it. Doing well. And that's about 30. Coming up onto our hands and knees now. We're going to bring our hands under our shoulders, but then flip our hands over so that the backs of our hands are on the floor and our palms are face up. And from here, we're going to lower our chest down to the floor, straighten our arms, press up, close our fists at the top. And we're just going to work through 10 of these. Keeping the weight in your hips here, so allow your legs to support most of your body weight there. You don't want a whole lot of pressure on your hands, and you don't want your wrists to thud into the ground. So enough weight that you can control this movement here. Alrighty, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's it, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Amazing. Now that we've finished 10 of those, we're going to keep our fists closed. Now, closing your fist with your thumb tucked in front of your fingers here. We want our thumbs up off the ground, out of the way. This is happening. Bad news, friends. Tuck that thumb out of the way. It is not made to be weight-bearing in that particular position, and it could lead to some pretty uncomfortable injuries there. So from here, we're going to drop our chest down to the floor and press straight back up. I'm going to do 10 push-up variations like this. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's it. 5, doing well. 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Awesome. Finishing up, hands flat on floor. Imagine your fingers are glued to the ground. They can't get away, but your palms can lift up. And we're going to keep our fingers down, palms lifting up. A little bit of weight on our hands. We want to get our wrists working a little bit here. This is a good one for strengthening our wrists. And we're going to do 10 palm raises. So let's just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't be worried if you can't get your palms that high up off the floor. Totally okay. That flexibility through there can just take time. Alrighty, friends. That is our warm-up done. We're ready to keep on cracking, get our first round all started. So I will see you standing in just a moment. Here we are, friends. Round number 1. We have just 2 movements for this round. Yay! But don't cheer yet. No, cheer. It's going to be good. What we're going to do is a squat, and we're going to couple that with what I call a get back up. Well, you just lay on the ground and then you get back up. Now we're going to do what is called a ladder, which means that every time we repeat the movement, we increase it by 1. So we're going to start, and I'll demonstrate, but we'll start with the demonstration. So follow along. We're going to do 1 squat, so feet are just wider than hip width, toes are slightly outwards, hands in front of the chest to give our hands a job. We're going to come down just as low as you can. You don't have to go as low as me. We'll do 1 squat. You don't have to turn sideways. I am for space purposes. Feel free to just come straight down to the floor, any way that you can get yourself down. And then you're going to stand back up. It's the first repetition in our ladder. Now we do 2 squats. 1, 2, that's it. Now we do 2 get back ups. So we lie down, we stand back up, we lie down, get back up. That's 2. Nice. I'm just going to build this ladder up, just like this, working through it, nice and slow in your own time. We're up to 3 squats now. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. 3 get back ups. So you're making your way down to the floor in your own time. It's 1, 2, 3. Awesome. 4 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. 4 get back ups. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 squats. Yay! We're working through on your own time here. You're not having to rush through. Rest as you need. Let's go for 5. 1, 2, 5. Nice. 5. Get back ups. And measurement getting down any way that you can. You definitely don't have to replicate the way I'm getting up and down. Find the way that works for you. It's 2. 3. It's 4. That's 5. 6 squats. Yes. Whew. Let's get back up. Let's really get your heart rate up. Here we go. 6 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6. Get back ups. We got this, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 6. 7 squats, friends. 7 squats. Welcome to the champ moving party. 1, 2, 3. It's 4. It's 5. It's 6. One more. 7. 7 get back ups now. Doing well. Just near a time, remember. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Almost there. One more after this. Okay, last one for this. 7. Nice. 8 push-ups. Doing well. Not push-ups. What am I talking about? Squats. Confuse myself for a second of what to do. 8 squats. Let's go. 1, 2. Keeping them controlled. 3. Lowering yourself down. 4. We're not dropping down. It's 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Almost there. 7. 8. Yes. Nice squats. Nice squats. Feet are just wider than hips. Hands in front of the chest for the job. And let's go. Going for 9. 1. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. 2. 3. 4. 5. That's it. 6. 7. 8. 9. 9 get back ups. Yes. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 1 more. 9. Oh. Here we go, friends. Last set. 10 squats, 10 get back ups. We got this. Yes. Alrighty, nice and slow, nice and controlled. Now you're getting tired. Let's keep it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alrighty. Last 10 get back ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost there. Don't give up now. 9. 1 more. 10. Well done, friends. Have a breather. Have a sip of water. We'll be back with our next round. Yes. Welcome to round number 2. Here we are, friends. And I know you're thinking, what could possibly beat the amazingness that was the first round? Well, this round, we've got some tension holds. Yes. So we have 3 movements to work through here. Our first one, now I'm going to demonstrate them to you, and I want you to work along with me. We're going to work through these together for this first round. With this first plank is going to be our first tension hold, a tall plank. I do want to give you the option first, instead of working from the ground, is working from a bench. And you're going to be in this position. So it could be a bench, like a kitchen counter, coffee table, a couch, anything that's not going to slide away. That is what's important here. Nothing slides away from us, and we do not face plant because they are just not fun. Speaking from personal experience. But we're going to start our tall plank. If you're on the floor, hands on your shoulders. If you're on a bench, hands under your shoulders. We're going to step our feet back until our body is nice and straight. You can have your feet apart here, around hip width. That is totally fine. And we're just going to hop into this position, and we're going to hold. I'm going to have that the trusty big red wall clock just over my shoulder there to hold us to a count of 30 seconds. And we're just going to hold like this. You want to rotate your elbows forwards as much as you can to really get the tension, really kind of grip the ground with your fingers. We're doing well. We're almost there. Keeping your hips nice and level with your shoulders here. We want to be nice and stable. Even weight between our hands and feet. And bringing our knees down to the floor. Well done. That was 30 seconds of a tall plank from the floor or from a bench, wherever you were at. Coming on over, because our second tension hold is going to be a wall sit. So key part of this movement is a wall / door. Something that won't open though. You don't want someone to open the door on you while you're in this position because it might be highly amusing for them, but not so much for you. And what we're going to do is just hop ourselves down until we're sitting in an imaginary chair. Now, you don't have to get this low, just as low as you can get, and the hands are off the legs here. We don't want our hands resting here. We want to give them a job of sticking to the wall. And we're just going to hold. Big red magical wall clock over there, keeping count for us. But you're wondering, when did we start counting? Because I've been talking for a while. Well, we've still got a little bit to go. Just a little bit longer. And we're going to slowly bring our back off the wall, push ourselves away with our hands, step up out of our wall sit. We have 1/3 and final movement here. This one, not so much a tension hold as it is just a sit-up / crunch. So we're going to do 10 of these, starting on our back. Now, 2 options. For a crunch, you're simply going to reach your fingertips towards your knees, just getting your shoulder blades up off the ground. That is perfect. If you are wanting to do a full sit-up though, feet are going to be a little bit away from your body. Hands are going to start on the front of your legs. Breathing out, coming up, elbows to knees. But just getting to where you get to. And either way, breathing out as you're sitting up will make it easier. Otherwise, it's trying to like sit up around a big balloon. Imagine our lungs are balloons and you're trying to reach over the top. Doesn't work. Alrighty. We have 10 of these to work through, friends. So crunch or sit up, whatever works for you. Just remember to breathe. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. 5. Creeping away. The wandering sit up. 6, 7. Almost there. 8. Yes. 9. One more. 10. Yes. Yay. That is one round down. We have 2 more to get through. Starting in our tall plank. So coming back over, we're staying on the ground. We're just coming to hands and knees to start with if you're doing a tall plank from the floor, or finding your relevant inclined surface. Whatever works for you is exactly perfect. Starting with our hands under our shoulders. And spread the fingers nice and wide. Give yourself a nice solid base there to work for. Stepping back. Hips are nice and level. And we're just going to hold. And breathe. And hold. That's the way. Trusting the wall clock to count us down. It's okay if you start to tremble. Perfectly okay. We are working hard here. Muscles get tired, muscles get shaky. That doesn't mean we stop. We're almost there. And our knees come down to the floor. Nice. And we can take a moment, shake it out. But not waiting too long because we've got to pop up now. Actually, wait as long as you need. Don't go by my word. You know where you're at. So rest as often as you need for as long as you feel necessary. By that I mean usually just until your heart rate starts to slow down. Once your heart rate has slowed down a little bit, time to crack on. Over to our wall sit. Setting ourselves up. We're ready. We're going to drop ourselves down into position as low as you are comfortable to get. And let's go. Hands off the legs. Grip the wall for dear life. Oh my God, no, don't. Try and relax your face if you can. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Pushing your feet kind of into the ground and bracing yourself against the wall. You're kind of wedging yourself in here. Imagine the floor and the wall. You're like a little wedge. We're almost there, friends. That's it. Hands come to the walls. Push ourselves up and off. Walk our feet close to underneath us. Coming over to our crunch, slash, sit up. Whatever one you're working with, we're going for 10. Starting on our back. I like to have my feet together here to squeeze my legs. It helps build tension for me, but you don't have to have your feet together. Whatever works for you, totally fine. Hands on the fronts of the legs. We're either reaching fingertips to knees, wrists to knees, elbows to knees, wherever you get to. Breathing out as we sit up, and let's go for 10. So, 1, ooh, they're getting hard. 2, that's the way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost there. 9, one more. 10. Yes. Haha, one more round to go. We're doing well. I just want to reassure you, friends, there is nothing wrong with breathing noisily while training. I know it can feel super weird, but sometimes you just can't help it. So just rock it. Noisy breathing is a good thing. Builds tension in the core. Breathe as noisily as you have to help you do your movements. Trust me, not weird. You know what's weird? The people who try and not breathe loudly, because that just makes it hard to train. Why would we make it harder for ourselves? Almost went straight to a wall sit, but we're starting with our tall planks. One more time. We're going from our incline or we're going from the floor, working with wherever you are at. Starting, fingers nice and wide, hands under our shoulders, trusting that the big red wall clock is going to count us down nicely, stepping back, holding our position, and just hanging out here. Not letting your butt get pointy or saggy, so we want to keep it as level as we can. Really work on being nice and even pressure between our hands and feet here. So if we've got even pressure, it's much easier. If we're too far over our hands, it becomes hard. If we're too far over our feet, it becomes hard. So we want to find that nice balanced middle point. That's it. Knees come down to the floor. Well done. These are good holds. You're doing well, friends. Coming over to our trusty wall for our last wall sit of the day that you're doing with me. I mean, I can't stop you from doing them in your own time. Alrighty, setting ourselves up into our position on our imaginary chair. Gosh, this imaginary chair is comfortable. Hands off the legs. Wedging ourselves in against the wall, against the floor. Holding, just sitting here, hanging out. Holding as much as you can. If you feel you need to hop up, shake your legs out, hop back down into it. Totally okay. Work with where you're at. This is a challenging movement. So I don't want you to be doing more than what you feel comfortable to do. That's it. Leaning forward, walking our feet back under us. Coming up over to our last set of sit-ups / crunches. Starting on our backs for our last 10. Hands on the fronts of the legs. Gets hard, friends, that's okay. If you need to go from sit-ups to crunches and wind it down a little, totally fine. Alrighty, let's do this. So, 1, 2, 3. That's the way. 4, 5. Halfway, yeah. 6, 7. Doing well. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. 10. All the way back down because we always finish in our starting position. Yay. Well done, friends. That is 2 rounds down. What an effort. This was not necessarily an easy session, and I celebrate you for all the awesomeness that is you, for jumping in and giving this a try. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Till next week, have a wonderful day.